Well, 13 News and our parent company, Nexstar Media, are committed to celebrating Black History Month.
Tonight, we continue to honor African Americans with the story of a man who became arguably the most influential African American educator and orator of his time.
That man, of course, was Booker T. Washington, and many don't realize he once called West Virginia home.
13 News anchor Marilee McAuliffe tells us the true story of Washington, and she visits his childhood home in the Kanawha Valley.
In Malden, West Virginia, this church has stood the test of time. From the small place of worship, one of the most influential African Americans of all time took the first small steps on his road into history.
We are in the building that is Booker's church. He did worship between these walls and on these floors.
Born in Virginia in 1856, Booker Taliaferro Washington only knew life as a slave until the Union victory in the Civil War.
When the war was over, a soldier came and read the Emancipation Proclamation to them, and they knew that they were free.
And so his journey to the Mountain State began. He and his siblings, with the guidance of their mother Jane Ferguson, made the perilous trip west to reunite with Booker's stepfather, Washington Ferguson.
It was a march to the promised land, the idea that they would be free, and she was very interested in Booker's education and the education of her other children.
It was here in Malden where Booker T. Washington was able to get an education and find work. Author Larry L. Rowe has written books on Washington's formative years in Malden and is passionate about telling that story. He explains how the family would develop a unique relationship with Viola and Louis Ruffner.
When he arrived, he was employed and lived with the Ruffners as their house and garden boy. He actually sold produce for Mrs. Ruffner. She was quite taken with how diligent and honest he was, even as a very young fella.
When he was 9 years old, Washington was put to work alongside his stepfather in the salt furnaces, where brine was boiled down to make commercial salt. The site of Booker's home is now an interstate highway, but behind the church, a replica of the salt furnace and a recreation of his home, school, and a chicken coop can be visited. As those early years in West Virginia came to an end, Washington returned to Virginia, where he attended Hampton Institute. From there, an unquenchable thirst for knowledge helped lead him to become, in 1881, the first principal of a school which would later become Tuskegee University in Alabama. It enforced a famous quote of Washington, "Those who are happiest are those who do the most for others." For 13 News, I'm Marilee McAuliffe, working for you.
And a monument of Booker T. Washington can be found on the grounds of the West Virginia State Capitol.